Hey everybody, what's up? I just wanted to do a quick video update to let you guys know what's going on with my life. Basically just give you guys an update and, you know, basically just give you the goings on of one Ricky Puckett. So, I mean, you know, it's not as if anybody actually cares, but I don't know, just in case, I just thought I'd do this video real quick and just let you know what's going on. Because I've been absent, I haven't been active here on YouTube lately, and so I just wanted to touch base with everybody and just you know, just let you know what's up. But so I've been spending a little bit of time away from YouTube. I've been on YouTube, just not with near as much frequency as normal. So, but I'm just kind of taking time to step away, you know, just kind of trying to figure things out, really. A bit of a social media hiatus, in other words. So it's not just YouTube, it's not just right here, but I've actually stepped away from Facebook as well, and they're the main social media site that I'm really kind of, you know, avoiding right now. So, and there are reasons for that. I deactivated my Facebook a couple months ago, back in May, I believe, and I'm not sure, you know, when I'm going to go back, to be honest with you. I may not go back at all. You know, I don't know. I probably will, but I have this love-hate relationship with Facebook, and oftentimes it feels like a hate-hate relationship, but I can't deal with it right now. It's just certain elements in my life, certain people in my life, or actually, I guess a more proper thing to say would be certain people out of my life. If you know me on a personal level at all, then you know that the last few years have been kind of tough for me. So I've just taken the time to step away and try to reassess and get things figured out in here, and trying to get this to heal. So anyway, I don't want to make this a sad sob story about what's going wrong with my life, but I just had to fill you in on that just because it was important, I guess. I don't know. I felt like it was necessary for this video. But anyway, the reason that I actually am doing this video, let me tell you what I am up to. Because, you know, since I'm not really doing much on YouTube, I'm not doing the vocal covers at the moment, I'm not doing, you know, the things that you're accustomed to seeing me do here on YouTube. I'm not on Facebook, I'm not a lot of places right now. So what I am doing, I have been focusing an awful lot of attention and investing an awful lot of time trying to kickstart Warclub Radio again. So I say again because this is really the fourth incarnation of Warclub Radio. This started back in 2007. I founded Warclub Radio in 2007, and it started as a pre-recorded music show. Just like traditional radio, but like a million times better. And so it started in 2007. I guess in 2011, it started getting real sporadic with regards to how often I do shows. And I just wasn't doing them as often as I had been for years past. And it got to a point where I rarely did shows at all. And so a couple years went by. 2013 rolls around, and I recommit to it, and I actually went a step further. I actually transitioned Warclub Radio into a 24/7, 365 streaming online radio station. I do live shows and, you know, whatever. And that went on for 3 years, from 2013 to January of 2016. That was the second incarnation of Warclub Radio. In January of 16, I killed the radio station, and that was it. I didn't think I'd ever resurrect it again. Fast forward to October 2018, and I decided to give it a go again. So I brought Warclub Radio back. This was the third incarnation, and this was the most failed attempt. It only I brought it back October of 2018, only to close up shop again 3 months later in January of 2019. So that didn't go too well. And then after that, I really thought that was it. I thought, that's definitely the nail in the coffin. I got to say goodbye to Warclub Radio and move on. But, earlier this year, I started to get the itch again, and so I decided to resurrect it once again. This fourth iteration of Warclub Radio has once again returned as of, I think it was February of this year when I, officially made it, brought it back again and announced it and everything like that. I might be wrong, but I think it was February. So, I've done a few shows. I've uploaded a few shows. This time it's a little bit different. It's quite a bit different. I moved the radio station. I decided to move the station off of my own server, my own streaming host and all that, and move it on to a new platform called Mixcloud. Now, I say new, it's not new. Mixcloud's actually been around for several years, but I just discovered it just recently. But Mixcloud is amazing. I can't begin to tell you. They do so many things, so many awesome things, not just for, the DJs and content creators, but also for listeners and for the artist. And that's the big thing. That was the biggest factor in me deciding to move everything to Mixcloud, is because, first of all, I can upload unlimited shows, so they don't cap you at a certain number, as far as I know anyway. And also, they pay royalties to artists. To the artists that get played on their platform, they pay royalties. And I cannot express to you how big time that is. Nobody does this, okay? You can try and start an online radio station, a streaming radio station on YouTube, and YouTube's going to shut you down for copyright infringement. You can try SoundCloud. SoundCloud's going to shut you down for copyright infringement. There are other services. There's Live 365. You can always go that route. They're a little expensive, but it's still a good service. They're awesome. I used them for a while, and I actually really liked Live 365. But again, it just was more than I was wanting to pay, so I had to look for other options. So there's not really any other competition. Live 365 is pretty much the only game in town, if you want to do it legally, that is. Now, there used to be one other company out there called Stream Licensing. They didn't give you stream hosting, but they did. If you had a stream, you could go to them and they would license your stream, so that way you could, you could do what you do and run your radio station legally for U.S. listeners. So, but unfortunately they folded, they went out of business. And so that just leaves Live 365. And unless you want to pay those prices, it's just not a very good option. And they're really the only option. Until I found out about Mixcloud. They pay the royalties for all the artists that get played on their platform. They require content creators, DJs, radio DJs, club DJs, house DJs, all kinds of different DJs. When we upload shows, they require us to curate our playlists. So that way, it's actually part of the show itself. So when someone's listening to your show, they can see what band and what song is playing at any given time in real time as they're listening. That's beneficial to the listener, but it's also beneficial to Mixcloud, because that's how Mixcloud knows what artist they need to pay, what song was played, what date and what time, and how many times it was played. And so that's how they figure out how to pay the royalties out. Plus, they also have a built-in algorithm, so even if you don't curate your list like you're supposed to, they have a built-in algorithm that is designed to recognize what songs are what, kind of like the Shazam app. That's kind of the same thing here. They've got an algorithm built into their system now that recognizes what music you're uploading. So it's just amazing. It's just really good stuff, and that's how they pay out the artist. And so that gives people that run online radio stations, or just home DJs, house DJs, club DJs, just any kind of DJs, radio DJs, that allows us the opportunity to continue doing what we love to do and not have to worry about having an illegal stream. So There is one other service. I know that there's a service called Streamline that people use. I used it for a very short while, and again, I don't have anything bad to say about Streamline. I think Streamline is, actually pretty amazing at what they do, but they're based in Canada. And so if you go to Streamline for your radio station, then your radio station essentially becomes a Canadian radio station. And they do offer licensing, but their licensing is through SOCAN, and that is an organization that covers Canadian streams to Canadian audiences. And so, if I had Warclub Radio streaming through Streamline, if someone in Quebec or Toronto, Ontario, or Vancouver, or, wherever, just somewhere in Canada, if someone in Canada is listening, then I'm covered for that listener. Now, if somebody in South Carolina, or Sacramento, California, or Portland, Oregon, or Des Moines, Iowa, whatever, if they're listening to my stream that's coming out of Canada, then I'm not covered for those U.S. listeners. Because SOCAN does not cover U.S. listeners. They only cover Canadian streams to Canadian audiences. They cover the territory of Canada. You don't have coverage in the United States if you stream from there. You don't have coverage in Europe. You don't have coverage in Australia. You don't have coverage anywhere except in Canada. Now, I know that there are some people that would argue with me and beg to differ. And that's fine. They can argue until they're blue in the face, but it doesn't change the fact that you don't have coverage outside of Canada. It states that very, very clearly in the FAQs, and it doesn't leave it to question. It just doesn't. So, it's very clear. That's why I left Streamline, is because if you go to them, they encourage you to start telling people when you're on the air that you're broadcasting from Canada, that you're a Canadian radio station now. They encourage that, which is fine, but if I've got a Canadian stream and I'm sitting here in Oklahoma City, I don't feel right telling people, Warclub Radio is coming to you live from Toronto, Ontario, when I'm sitting in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. So, especially, running a Christian radio station, I do seem to recall that book that we believe in says not to lie. Seems to be a tenet of, one of the tenets of our faith, so, and it shouldn't be very hard to abide by, especially with something like this. So, yeah. Anyway, again, I don't have any ill will towards anybody or any other station or any other organization or anybody, period. Again, and Streamline, I think, is a fantastic service. But it's just not for me. I just couldn't feel good, doing that. I think I only did it for maybe a month or two with Streamline, and then I called it quits. So, anyway, that was the end of that experiment. And I found Mixcloud, and it was just a blessing. They also recently just implemented the ability to live stream. So that is big time. That's just really big time. So now I can actually live stream through Mixcloud, just like I could if I were to go the traditional online radio station route through a stream host and go through encoders and all this other fun stuff. I can actually do on Mixcloud the same way. And actually without the encoders if you use OBS or whatever. But if you use OBS, then obviously you can include video with your live stream. So it's not just audio. And I do that. So, when I'm live, you can see me do what I do. I'm not sure why anybody would want to see me, but you can. I usually cast my my monitor so that way you can see my playout system and see the radio automation program that I use, and you can see what songs are playing, and it's just a really neat program. But anyway, that's it. That's what I'm doing. Check this out. Go to mixcloud.com/Warclub Radio. That is the new official home of Warclub Radio. There's a follow button on that page. Just click that follow button and you will be notified anytime I upload a new show. And that's one way to stay in contact, because I do still have the Warclub Radio Facebook page. I do still have a Twitter presence on, for Warclub Radio. But honestly, I don't know if I'm going to keep that Facebook page. I argue back and forth in my head every single day about whether I should keep it or not, because that Facebook page is just, it's just useless to me. It's worthless. It actually depresses me. I mean, it literally physically depresses me sometimes. But of course, that just might be because it's Facebook too. So, you know, that underscores the importance to go ahead and go to mixcloud.com/Warclub Radio. Follow me there so that way you're always in the know. You always stay tuned and always stay updated to what I'm doing with Warclub Radio. And if you're watching this on Facebook, because I probably will go ahead and upload this to the Warclub Facebook page. And after you do that, go to my personal YouTube channel. And I'm going to put a link in the description of this video, underneath the video. I'll put the YouTube link as well as the Mixcloud link, just to make it easy for everybody. But yeah, anyway, do that. And if you want more vocal covers, they're coming. I promise you they are. So let not your heart be troubled. They will be back. I mean, again, I don't even know how much people like what I do. So that said, I'm going to go ahead and sign off. And until next time, take care and God bless.